live on the platforms. This is what
What's
YouTube
up?
is seeing. So hello YouTube, hello Facebook, hello Twitch,
YouTube.
hello all the other. Oh
Twitch,
man, I got
Facebook,
the worst hiccups. It's hilarious. Okay, so we're live, and I'm about to press record on this amazing episode. So go ahead. Got bad hiccups. And tag your friends.
That's all right.
Share it to people. Comment your questions and take some notes because we want you to get as much value out of this as possible. Recording the episode for iTunes, Spotify, and all those other platforms in 3, 2, 1.
Leaders and healers from around the universe, welcome to the Power, Purpose, and Passion podcast. I am your host, Anthony Cheam, welcoming you live from Burlington, Ontario with my friend Cameron, and we are ready to serve you. This is a podcast where we help you claim your power, clarify your purpose, and cultivate your deepest and highest passions possible. So ultimately, you can show up as the best possible version of yourself so you can share the best possible version of yourself with your friends, your family, your loved ones, and the community around you abroad. So thank you for joining us on this podcast. And we are in the depth and the nucleus of our 9 steps to improving your relationship arrangements, if you want to call it that, our class or course that we're teaching. And I just want to let people know that relationships, out of all the things that you can study in the world, it's probably one of the most least studied area in life and focused area in life. And yet it's the most important. And I think I told you about the last time, if you had $10 million, but the only stipulation would be to put on yourselves would be, if I gave you $10 million, the only stipulation would be that you could never see your friends or family or any of your loved ones again. And how much would that money be worth to you? It would be worth 0 to me because, man, my children, my wife mean more than anything in the world, and money can never buy the love that they provide me and the connection that we have. So thank you for joining us again. And this week's podcast, this particular episode is step 3 of 9 steps to improve your relationships. And step 3 is personality traits, personality power. The first one, just to recap, was know thyself. You have to first be aware of your stuff first, what your needs, desires, and drives, and what you value most, global beliefs, your identity beliefs, who you believe you are, all these things that encompass your life. And then step 2, we talked about love languages, which I believe was an amazing episode. We had a great response from many people abroad that were watching that. Even after the show was done, I had a lot of comments. People saying, man, that really helped me with understanding myself. Again, first step, know thyself. Step 2, love languages. And step 3, DISC, personality types and personality power. And I'd like to introduce you to my partner, the Cheam team. That is Cameron. How you doing? And obviously Farah and Danish, who are not in the background. They're in the back. They are working the magic. How you doing, Cam?
Doing really well, man. The Cheam team is going hard today. We got a lot going on, preparing for the challenge, preparing all the blog stuff, the website stuff, all the background stuff. We are the magicians behind what is Cheam's message.
Yes, you got
and
it.
I'm really excited that we're able to help you spread this, man. I really am. And I think, I feel like I'm where I'm supposed to be. And I don't know about you guys, but that's a really nice feeling to have.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Well,
sure. Listen, this episode is quite profound to me too as well, because what I've discovered and I can tell you from my own personal experience, just with Cameron, Danish, and Farah, who are the Cheam team here, the Dream Cheam team. I have to tell you that Cameron and Danish and Farah are good at things that I'm not. They are skilled and adroit and acutely more gifted than I am in certain areas with the technological stuff. So one of the things I'm going to tell you before we get deep into this podcast is understanding that you have strengths and you have weaknesses. So one of the things I'm going to tell you to do is notice what your strengths are when it comes to your personality types, your love languages, all that stuff. Amplify those strengths and hang around people that are strong in your weak areas. That is the key. Abraham Lincoln was known for hiring people on his cabinet that were his enemies because he knew they had information, wisdom, and strengths and skills and a mindset that was beyond his, that they could provide him an insight that he could not see, perceptions, beliefs, values that he could not see. Oftentimes I tell people it's actually good to have a pessimist in your business, because you might be an optimist going, yeah, let's go. Then the pessimist might go, well, listen, you guys have a business plan? And he might go, wah, wah. But what I'm saying is we got to have a clear cut sort of approach to business so you don't overspend and become bankrupt. This happens time and time again. So you don't want to be overly optimistic. You want to have a round table, a dream team around you that is helping you in the areas that you need to excel at. And I have people around me, spiritual coaches, business coaches, life coaches, therapists, in every walk of life that are helping me, that are better than me in certain areas. I am who I am today, not because of me, but because a lot of people have helped me get to where I am. As I heard Zig Ziglar say, if you find a little turtle on a fence post, you can be damn sure that turtle didn't get up there by himself. That turtle had some help. So be the one that asks for help. There's a rare strength in asking for help. And as Les Brown says, don't ask for help because you want to be, he had said something on the lines of ask for help because you want to remain strong. So let's fire it up. Let's get right into this. And the personality types have been studied for many, many years. And there's many different types of models. There's the Myers-Briggs model. There's the Enneagram types. And particularly for me, I was introduced to personality types, the DISC personality types, and it was spearheaded by a gentleman by the name of Dr. Robert Rome, who's like one of the top guys that teaches this type of stuff. And I actually got to see him live twice in my lifetime. And he is one of the best speakers, humor speakers on the planet. He's hilarious. Look him up on YouTube, on Google. His name is Dr. Robert Rome, and he wrote a book, many books on this type of stuff. But I will outline the four different types of personality types, and basically we have all four. And it's not there designed to label you in any way, but it's again to understand yourself, to know thyself, to understand what your drives are, where your strengths are, where your weaknesses are, where you're healthy and where you're unhealthy, where your light sides are and where your dark sides are. So that's what we're going to do today. And so just imagine for a second, you've got a piece of paper and you draw a cross like so, like you draw a line down the middle and a horizontal line across the page. Now, imagine at the top you have outgoing, I believe it is. I'm just have my notes here. Outgoing, and at the bottom you have reserved. And to the right of that page you have people, and then on the left of that page you actually have task oriented. Okay, so the first question you're going to ask yourself is: are you more outgoing or are you more reserved? So for me, I'm very outgoing. I'm just like a ball of energy in people. I just love talking to people, all these things. I love to talk. I love to speak. I love to speak my mind and express myself. And then on the horizontal line, again, on the vertical line, you have outgoing on the top, and on the bottom, you have reserved. On the horizontal plane, you've got on the left side task, on the right side people. Now, the second question you got to ask yourself is, are you more task oriented or are you more people oriented? Now, for me, I'm more people oriented. And what you'll find is I am outgoing, and I am people-oriented, which would make me what they call an I personality. Now, we're going to go through all four types, starting with the D type. So what you'll find is you have the line down the middle and the line across the page. You have four quadrants. Top left is going to be D. Top right is the I. Bottom right is the S. And the bottom left is the C. So we're going to start with the D types. The D types, as you notice, are outgoing and task-oriented. These are the leaders of the world. To describe the Ds, they are demanding, dictatorial, driven, direct, and decisive. People that are Ds are usually in positions of power: managers, CEOs, presidents, entrepreneurs, politicians. All these people have these direct desires. They are driven. They are decisive. They go at it, and they are leaders. We need people in the world that are Ds, no doubt. But again, as I said, there are light sides and dark sides, healthy and unhealthy sides, and we will go through them each in brief form, the healthy sides and the unhealthy sides. Now, if you go to the right of the D, what you'll notice is that the I's are outgoing and people-oriented. Now, the characteristics of our I's are impressive, influential, inspirational, interactive, and interesting. These people that get into these types of in the world, they are entertainers, they are comedians, actors, singers, speakers that are just ebullient amounts of love and joy they express. They wear their emotions on their sleeve. We know people like that. We do need people like that too, to kind of have fun, to be entertainers, to just that aren't so stressed out. They like to have fun all the time. But the dark side of the I's are they basically have too much fun. And the bottom side of it is they can't really take anything seriously. And as you look to the bottom right, you'll notice that are the S's. These are the people in the reserve type. These are the Mother Teresa therapist type people. Their S's are supportive, shy, sensitive, stable, and steady. People that are the people out in the world usually get into jobs like therapy, social work, customer service, caregivers, PSWs, stuff like that, who are out there helping the people out there either one-on-one. They don't want to be the center of attention. They're people-oriented, but they're more reserved. Now, the dark side of the S's usually is that they are poor starters, but great finishers. The I's usually are great starters, but poor finishers. That's how I used to be. I used to start amazingly fast and go hard, and then I would slow down and not finish my things, okay? So then, bottom left is your C types, and you'll notice they're more task-oriented and reserved people. These people are calculative for the C's, cautious, careful, competent, contemplative. People that are in the world of jobs, careers, are usually accountants, engineers, scientists, mathematicians, pilots, and we definitely need these people. If you're building a house, you don't want an I to do it. Because the C's are going to double check, triple check, measure, are going to be extremely precise. But we need accountants. We need the scientists. We need the engineers. My dad was a C type. He was like a C type, D type person. But let me tell you something. He was very precise, mathematical. We need accountants. We need, pilots who are accurate in their degrees. Thank God we have C types, because they are able to fly the planes with accuracy and precision and not get too emotional about it. So as you notice, we have the D's, I's, S's, and C's. But what you'll notice, you have a primary trait just by explaining these personality traits to you. I immediately, when it was being explained to me, I immediately knew what I was, an I type, a people person, outgoing. Now, some people might resonate with D, who are outgoing in task. Some people might resonate with C, who are reserved in task. And some people might relate with people that are S's, who are people driven and reserve driven. So we all have a primary trait that we actually operate from. Now, we have secondary personality traits. Like my secondary trait is usually either, so if I'm an I, to the left or below me, directly below me, is usually my secondary. So I'm either an ID or an IS. The least person that I'm like is the person I'm diagonal from, which is the C type. I am not precise all the time. I don't like to look at my visa statement and do all the calculations. I actually knew a person that was a C type who literally took their Visa credit card and was like counting up all the numbers. And if it was a penny off, she would call Visa and say, "Hey, you're a penny off." That's how precise. But we need people like there. But here's the great thing about this. Once you determine what your primary personality type is, what you'll notice is this. You want to hang around people that are not like you. Your gold mine in your career, your gold mine in your relationships, your gold mine in every area of your life is usually the secrets to your gold mine are the people that you're least like. Yet you get along with the least with. That's the secret. So we want to learn to get along and appreciate other people's worlds. Again, love languages. This ties into love languages, personality types. So as I explain this, understand for D's, we're going to start with D's now, go back to D's. D's, again, are driven, are decisive, are dictatorial, but their dark side is that they can be very insensitive. They might say, "Yeah, let's go, hurrah, 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 come on team, but we're going far, we're going to make things happen, let's work." But then they also might get to a point where they're just being insensitive because not everyone's like them, not everyone is as driven as they are, so they'll become judgmental and cold. The I's are fun-loving and entertaining. They're energetic, but again, the downside of an I is that they actually don't take many things very seriously. The S's, their strengths are sensitivity. They're great listeners. They're the type of person, as I heard once, that said they will agree with everybody just so they won't make anyone mad. They're the type of person that's basically, if you're sitting with them, they're just like, let's sing Kumbaya and let's everyone get along. Or the person to the left of them might actually say, "Hey, do you notice that the room is cold?" And the S might go, "Yeah, the room is cold." And then the person to the right might go, "Hey, did you know the room is warm?" He goes like, "Yeah, the room is warm." Because that person, that S type, wants to get along with everyone, make everyone feel comfortable, and just have a jolly old time and observe people and the world and the environment. The C types, the dark side of the S types, again, they're slow starters, poor finishers. Right, so they don't know how to really instigate and take action right away. So it's good for you S's to hang around the I types, the D types, the C types. People are taking action, so you can learn from them. And then the C types, they're calculative, cautious, they triple check, and they're amazingly precise. That's their strength, no doubt. But their downside is that they don't know how to have fun. And so the problem with that is these C types, they just, maybe calculating numbers is fun for them, but sometimes they just need to be brought out of their shell a bit more and dance like no one's watching. So I hope that gives you a broad perspective as to what personality types. I hope you're taking some notes, because this has really helped me in my business, with my family, with my children, of course. And one of the things that Dr. Robert Rome says, he said, you should not treat everyone the same. You should treat them not the way you want to be treated, but the way they want to be treated. That is a big, big key. So it's not, the golden rule, love others as you want to be loved. No, love others the way they want to be loved. That is the key. Understand your own personality, understand other people's personality. And let me tell you something, your world will expand. Your relationships will become more juicy, will become more passionate. You'll have deeper connections with people. Even your boss, if he's a D type, one of the ways to deal with a D type is basically to listen. A D type is known for, don't give me the labor, give me the baby. Stop circling the land. Just give me the 1-2 punch and let's go to it. So the I types, let's have fun. So if you're talking to a D type, let them speak, be precise, be quick. I's are basically have fun. Relate your subject matter, if you're a salesperson, to an I, how it's going to make their life fun. An S type, you got to speak slowly, softly, kindly, that sort of thing. And the C types, you got to be very accurate in your statistics, in your numbers, stuff like that. So little things like that. It's helped me in my business. It's helped me with my children. It's helped me with my wife. It helped me with my every area of my life in dealing with people. And let me tell you something. One of the things that Jim Rohn said a long time ago was so profound to me. Is that one of the secrets to wealth that people fail to see is that people can make you rich. And I don't even think that's just means wealthy, rich as in money, but rich in relationships, rich in experience, rich in spirituality. So I went off on a tangent there. I hope you guys got a lot. What do you think there, Cam?
I love it. The DISC. I've heard a lot of different versions of personality types, but I think that's the most simple and good for basically everyone. Obviously, you can't just like compartmentalize people into one category. But so which I'm not sure if I heard you explain this already. Yeah. Which one, like, if you're a D, who are you most compatible with? If you're an I, who are you most compatible with? And who should you possibly expect troubles with?
Okay, so that's a good question. Usually, they say opposites attract, but opposites attack too. So my wife is the opposite of me. She's more introverted and she's more people person. I'm more extroverted, outgoing, and people person. She has more of a C type as well. I have more of a D type. So we fit together, because I don't want to marry, honestly, to be quite honest with you, I don't want to marry someone like me, because I already know who I am. I already know who I am. That would it'd sort of be boring and conflicting. She's more in the background. I'm more in the foreground. She's in the background. I'm more in the foreground. And so it works. It does work. But because she's more S type and C type, she has strengths where I'm weak, and I have strengths where she's weak. But then there's deep conflicting behaviors that happen. Like for me, I'm least like a C. So I actually might fight the most with the C type, who's just precise and goes over everything like 5-6 times. I'm like, I've heard this before. Let's go on. Let's move on to the next one. So it's understanding that there are different personality types, different drives, different priorities for different personality types. And by the way, too, let me tell you something. These personality types are context driven. If you own your own business, you're going to have to put your D type on in order to run your business properly and effectively and successfully. That's it. You don't want to run it like an I, where just have fun and not take care of the numbers. You want to be direct. You want to be numbers driven. You want to be people driven. And you got to look at the money too. Let's just face it. If you and I were in a house, and I love this, what Dr. Robert Rome says, if you and I were in a house right now and the house was burning right now, we'd all become Ds. Let's get the heck out of here, right? So if we are all partying, and then for a lot of parties, if we're all drinking alcohol at a party, at a nightclub, at a wedding, then you know what? Most of us will go on the dance floor. Most of us, that is, will be like eyes and just let loose and dance like no one's watching. So it's all context based as well. So just understanding that you're least like the person that you're diagonal from. But let me tell you, that's where your gold mines are. That's the key. And one of the most profound things that Dr. Robert Rome actually said was, you got to learn to say the same thing in a different way. Let me explain the example that he gave. He was I think he had 4 daughters. And one of the things that he said was he was trying to get one of his daughters to go to bed at a certain time, and he would fight with her all the time. And he discovered that she was a D type. And what D types need more than anything are control and choice. Control and choice. And he would say to her, I need you to get bed by 10 now. And that's basically putting a D into a corner. They want control and they want choice. So by telling her what to do, that doesn't give her control. That doesn't give her a choice. So he learned, one of his friends said, you got to learn to say the same thing in a different way. So he tried something different. He tried a different approach. He said this, honey, you can go to bed anytime you want as long as it's before 10 a.m. That evening, she literally at 9:59, 10 a.m., she opened her door, closed her door, and went to sleep without any arguments or conflicts. How amazing and profound is that when you say the same thing in a different way? So we must learn to say, I love you in a different way. Saying I love you in a certain tonality and timbre, saying I love you with your eyes, saying I love you with your lips, saying I love you in a note, visually, kinesthetically, through hugs, or through the acts of service, just like we talked about through love languages. So these are very, very important. And I agree with you, Cam, that DISC personality types is one of the easiest ways to navigate through your personality. I mean, you can study the Myers-Briggs, you can study the Enneagram types. I studied all of them as well, but I find this to be the most powerful and simplistic way to kind of understand yourself and understand the people around you.
So, what are the takeaways, the very quick recap takeaways that people can go use in their relationships now?
Okay, so the first thing I would suggest you do is, again, what's the first step of the 9 steps to improve your relationship? Know thyself. Study thyself first. Get to know what your personality type is. Go on Google. You can actually take a DISC personality profile test. Take it. Understand what your primary personality is, what you operate from, and what your secondaries are. And then go on a journey of understanding your wife, your husband, girlfriend, boyfriend, mother, father, son, daughter, friends, coworkers, all these things. And then get curious about where, what their personalities are, what their drives are, what's most important, and what they prioritize. And then meet them at their level. That is the key. Speak to them in their language. There's a actual principle in NLP, neuro-linguistic program, that says the meaning of your communication is the response that it elicits. So that takes the meaning of your communication into the person that's actually doing the communicating. The responsibility of the meaning of the communication is in the hands of the one doing the communicating. So understanding words, so understanding love languages, understanding the drives of people. Again, to an I, you wouldn't talk to them about precision. You would talk about how it's going to meet their needs for fun and exhilaration and energy. To a D, they want quick and short stuff. S's, they want it soft and slow. Maybe you need to repeat it. C's need sort of description and details, like fine print, and review. And then they're more introverted. They think things over. So understanding these things, you wouldn't try and do a sales pitch to a C type and just go energize and how fun it's going to be. You got to meet and speak to them at their level, and that is the key. So know thyself. Number 1, take the personality profile test, and then go on a journey. Pick 5 of your friends and family members, and then maybe have a conversation and go, hey, they're more outgoing than they are reserved, or they're more reserved than outgoing. And then go to the horizontal plane. They're more task oriented than people oriented. And you just kind of discover, and again, you don't sort of compartmentalize them or label them. You just understand, wow, that's how their world operates. That's how they see the world. Let me see it through their lens. Let me take the role of how they're seeing the world. Let me walk a mile in their shoes. That is the key. And then number 3, if there was a third step, again, first step, know thyself, your own personality profile, pick 5 friends, understand them. And number 3, hang around people that are strong in the areas that you're weak. Pick the people in your life that are strong in the areas that are weak. Learn from them, support them as well, reciprocate as well. What they give to you, give back to them. And I promise you, knowing this and believing this and living this way, I promise we'll be that much more elegant and alive and exuberant if you decide to take this journey.
Sounds like we just had an amazing episode, fellas. That was perfect. Literally fast, quick, to the point, and you got a bunch of... Sorry, I still have brutal hiccups. You have a bunch of easy action steps. So if you didn't write those down, I would write them down and maybe take the rest of the night to answer them or at some point. And that'll definitely help. Yeah, perfect, man. I really enjoyed that. And I'm looking forward, jeez, this is brutal. I ate one pepper. One pepper, man. Tomorrow's episode is emotional mastery, and then you got the weekend off.
Yeah.
You can digest everything you learned this week. It's been crazy.
Yes.
So thanks again for tuning in, guys. And if you guys want to check out the podcast on iTunes and Spotify, those are the two places where people seem to like it the most. So if you just look up Anthony Cheam on your Spotify, he's up there. He doesn't sing. He's not a musician. Well, he is a musician, but he's not on Spotify for music. His podcast is up there. And if you want to do us any favor, I'd say review it on your Apple Podcasts app, because the more reviews it gets, the more likely it is to reach more people. So yeah, and you know what? I again, my whole sole purpose for doing this with this dream team of mine, hours working together to do this, is to make an impact on people's lives, and it's just another way to do it. So share it, like it, subscribe on the channels, because you'll get automatic updates on what we're talking about and the podcasts that we're doing in the future, and the things that we're going to give to you in rare form and in step-by-step approaches. So thank you very much for joining in today, guys. To your continued upgrade and evolution. Live it up with power, purpose, and passion. Thanks, guys. I love you. Live it up. Go and serve.